Hi, this is Carl with Small Biz Thoughts, and this is another success tip for IT service providers. Today I want to talk about keeping the personal inside your business. You know, traditionally, which means up until 5 years ago, it used to be that small businesses were sometimes a little shy about letting people know that they're a small business. Many people that I know had these phone trees so that when you call, it would say, oh, press 1 for sales and press 2 for tech support and press 3 if you got a question about billing and so forth. And of course, they all went to the one same person and nobody was actually fooled because whatever you push, you're going to get the guy who's going to answer the phone and actually help you. But it was always one of these things where people tried to look bigger than they were. So they would sometimes design their marketing or their business cards or whatever so it looked like, you know, there were 7 or 8 people in the company, even though there's only one. And then we had a pandemic. And the thing that was interesting about the shutdown and everybody going to Zoom and everybody going online is that suddenly you'd find yourself in meetings and there would be people from some of the largest companies in the world in their family room or in their living room or sitting at their kitchen table. And they were just people, obviously. And they were just people who were in their homes and they were just people going through the same stuff as everybody else. And I think it sort of flattened the hierarchy a little bit in that those people realized that everybody now knows that they don't necessarily have to be in an office in order to work for a legit company. And that means you don't have to be in an office either. Again, I think a lot of people used to be reluctant to say that they had a home office or that they worked from their home. And yet, most of us have worked from our homes a lot because it is the best thing that most of us can do to save money. If you don't have an office outside the home, you don't have to pay for extra rent, extra internet service, and so forth. But the question of being personal and small goes beyond having an office or having a phone system or whatever. I recently put on a 2-day online conference, and we do this every 3 years. And I have something we do that I don't know of any other conference that does this, that basically we never stop. So we will start the recording at the top of the hour. We have a presentation, and then when that presentation's over, around 10 minutes till, we stop the recording, but we bring in the next speaker. And so the outgoing speaker, the incoming speaker, and I chat with each other, and sometimes former speakers will wander in and so forth. And basically, it's kind of a hobnobbing time at the top of the hour before we start the next presentation. And what we find invariably in these conversations is that the people who are there, the outgoing speaker and the incoming speaker, may have nothing in common except the fact that they're on the same Zoom screen at the same time, and yet they have things to talk about. I recently had an experience where one of the people was at a very, very large corporation. The other one was somebody who was a sole entrepreneur, and yet they had so much in common, so much to talk about, and it was one of these things where you couldn't have planned that, right? It just, they happened to have something in common and they wanted to talk some more, and it became an extended conversation. That is such a great example that no matter who people work for, we are all just people. And so you do not need to hide the fact that you are a small business or that you focus on a certain kind of technology and you can't do everything. Nobody expects you to do everything. Actually, those who do probably need to go find help somewhere else. But the reality is, you can be spectacular at the things you do. You can be the best in your market and still be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 person shop. You do not have to have 50 people or 100 people in order to provide spectacular service and give people the correct answer, which at the end of the day Clients want their problem solved. They want you to help their business to be better, whether that means making more money or just working smoothly or making sure that they've got the ability to recover in a disaster. You provide a very specific service, and the reality is a smaller business is capable of giving better customer service than a large business. I firmly believe that there is a direct inverse correlation between the size of a business and the amount of good customer service that they're able to give. Big companies, you think about the biggest companies in the world, and it gives you a headache to even contemplate talking to them about customer service because you know you're not going to get it. Small companies, you expect it, and you're a little bit surprised when you don't get good customer service from a small company. It is literally part of the deal that you've engaged in when you engage with a company that size. So think about this from your client's perspective. Have no qualms about letting people know that you represent the small end of the market, and therefore you can give much better service, and they know exactly who they can hold responsible if anything goes wrong. For Small Biz Thoughts, this is Carl Polachuk, wishing you the best of luck in everything you do.